we're not going to go too deep into each app, but try to show you how to use applications you may already have, but may not be familiar with certain things with Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and on the Apple side, Keynote, Pages, Notes, and using some of the apps. We've got our phones and iPads set up to show things as they may come up. John's going to show how to create an electronic notebook using OneNote. So all these different apps that you already have on your computer, you can use them to help make you a better trial lawyer. And the whole goal is to help you improve your practice. Again, we are not trying to do an incredibly deep dive into anything. We are trying to jump around from app to app and show you some specific good examples of real world things of how you can improve and use these apps to help your clients' cases be better in front of a judge or jury.
All right. This sounds exciting. And for somebody that's technologically ignorant like myself, it's probably going to be mind-bending.
One way to, oops, now you see track changes. So it shows you I deleted that image from the file.
On the bottom left of any PowerPoint is a toolbar that will eventually allow you to turn everything into a whiteboard if you wish at any time. So it's always a fun thing that not everybody knows that exists down at the bottom. Also has a zoom tool built into it as well. So when you're working, you don't need anything fancy. It's actually all tools that exist already for you. But anyway, so what I did was I took that and turned it into a less wordy presentation. In addition, I linked it. So this is all done through PowerPoint. It creates a timeline and all of these items. So if I want to jump to, let's say, the hospitalization, I click there and it will take me to that part of the original timeline, and then it can return me here. So you can walk with your different experts or your different people through whatever you want to show based upon a linking within the PowerPoint application. Radiant is what I use as a DICOM viewer. And I want to jump here because Justin had talked about making exhibits. And one of my favorite things is making live exhibits. So this is a Radiant. This is my neck after an accident I was in. And say I wanted to work through this item and make it into a live graphic to be a board. So they got the testimony of the radiologist. If you go into the bottom of your screen, on Windows 10, there's a thing called full screen snip, and it's called snip and sketch. It will take a picture of what's showing on your screen and turn it into a whiteboard so that you can then, if they pick the slide, mark up immediately and create a new board, which can be saved, exported, or emailed. So many times I'll have somebody pointing out the herniation. I'll then email this image back to one of an associate, a secretary, somebody at Staples or something to make the board to bring back to the courthouse, and you'll have your live exhibits done at that exact moment. DICOM viewers, which is like this one, can open any film. So ignore what they give you on the CDs that you can't open or whatever. If you become a pro at one, then you could do whatever it is you want to do. If you want to compare side by side, you'll know how to do slices, how to walk through, which we'll go through later, but you're making the baseline for your presentation in PowerPoint, which would be later.
On the Mac side is this program called Timeline 3D, which is just incredible. You can create these different events on the left, and then you can export it and turn it into this really wild looking timeline. It takes this information that you've given, you can drag in a time, a date, and an image. Then you can do something like this. So this is, it ends up being like this long line, but instead of presenting it this way, you can now present it to the jury something like this. You know, that at whatever time the defendant got off the plane, first thing they did was they bought a beer. They bought another beer. And just the beauty of that and this, how crisp and clear it looks is amazing. And then within a couple of hours of getting off the plane and drinking all these beers, knocking over bottles, and then went and rented a car. Surprise, surprise, they got in a wreck. But the concept of and the ability to do that with this program called Timeline 3D, you can create that sort of movie. It is a movie. You can actually export it into a series of PowerPoint slides, and then use it within PowerPoint itself, so you don't have to have a Mac to do that. That to me is a program lawyers use all the time. Oh, by the way, this is an outline we are going through as we talk. This we're going to talk about, oh, this is actually a Word document. So we'll talk about this real quick. This Word document itself is going to be in the Dropbox, and we're using this as an outline for our talk. One of the things you might notice is right here, this JL, that's John logged in live to this document remotely. So one of the things that lawyers don't necessarily recognize is the ability to collaborate with another lawyer, another staff member, an expert on a document. So like right now, remotely, John is typing on a document and it is in real time affecting the document I am seeing. And one of the things you can do is you click right here on the share button and you can actually, I can't remember, you might not be able to see that. I got to share it differently to have you all see this. So what'll happen is when you click on the share button, you can invite people to see and work with the document. I like to use images that I like to drop into presentations. There are a couple ways to do this, or there's several ways to do this. Way a lot of people do it is they go to imagesgoogle.com. And once you're here, you can type in an image, let's say, car, hit return, and then you've got all these images that appear for you. What people don't know is that you can refine this. So let's say you would like to use a higher resolution image of a car. You can go to settings, and then you can change different things. Where is it? Tools. So let's say I want the size to be just large images, meaning they will be large file images. And I might want to have usage rights. I want to have not commercial, but just anything I can use without repercussions. Theoretically, these are those kinds of images that you can drag and drop into. Literally, I could take this into this Word document that we've got right here, hit return, click, pull this up, and I can drag and drop this image into Word just that easy. So that's what I hope people are hearing or seeing, is that don't be afraid of these apps. Just what we're trying to do is show you some of the features that are available to you to use to make your practice go better and easier. And as you can see, both of us, we don't know where the stuff is off the top of our head. We just go to this search thing. We're like, where the hell is that text expander thing? Just type it in and find it. We're just trying to show you that these tools are available so that you'll start playing around with them.